That's Nick.
And that's Joseph. And today we're here to talk about Lisa Frankenstein, the directorial debut of Zelda Williams, which Focus Features is releasing February 9th, 2024.
You said directorial debut?
Yes,
oh,
she
wow.
has previously directed several music videos for JoJo. And notably, this was written by Oscar winner Diablo Cody.
What is this movie about? A coming-of-age love story about a teenager and her crush who happens to be a corpse. After a set of horrific circumstances bring him back to life, the two embark on a journey to find love, happiness, and a few missing body parts. What's your pull quote?
Not all the tones are copacetic in Lisa Frankenstein, which needs to be a lot more morbid to fully tap into the comedic shenanigans struggling to break through its PG-13 crust of sensibilities.
Mine. This film is begging for an R rating in a more macabre tone.
Yeah.
As it is, the best word to describe Lisa Frankenstein is cute.
And it is, and there are some cute moments, yeah.
This premise that I read is not really accurate because the corpse is not her crush.
No.
And she's not trying to find happiness with him. She likes another boy. But so the main character is named Lisa Swallows. Mm-hmm. We're in like 1989, I believe.
Yeah, Anywhere USA. She's played by Kathryn Newton.
She lives with her dad and her new stepmom and stepsister. Her mom is not in the picture because some time prior, Lisa witnessed her mom be killed by a home intruder.
Mm-hmm. Like an axe murderer.
And like was greatly affected by it because she suffered from like post-traumatic mutism and people think she's weird. She spends most of her time hanging out in the cemetery behind the house. She seems fixated on this one plot that looks like the bust of a young man and it says he's unmarried. So we assume that she has a crush on this idea of a person. But one day after she leaves a party drunk and maybe roofied, she is upset at home and gets angry and like breaks a mirror. And at the moment she breaks the mirror, lightning strikes that plot of the unmarried man. And he comes to life as a zombie creature. And he basically kills a few people who she doesn't, like Lisa doesn't like.
Who are even dangerous or were dangerous to her.
Like her stepmom and this boy at school who was sexually aggressive with her. But the result of those killings is that the zombie guy is missing an ear and a hand. So at first he cuts off the stepmom's ear and wants Lisa to sew it on. And we know Lisa's a seamstress. She works at like dry cleaning place. But when she sews the ear on at first, it doesn't work. And then she has the thought, oh, he needs like electricity, like Frankenstein. Thankfully, her stepsister, whose name is...
Taffy, played by Liza Soberano.
Who I really liked.
I did too. Soberano.
She has a tanning bed because she won Miss like Teen Hawaiian Tropics and it's like defective. So every time you get in it, you get electrocuted. So she puts the zombie in the tanning bed, electrocutes him, and we see that not only does his ear now operate properly, but he's starting to come back to life, so he looks better. Mm-hmm. And then he kills the boy who inappropriately touched her, so now he cut off his hand. Mm-hmm. She attaches the hand, electrocutes him, he looks even better. But Lisa, we find out, she said at his plot, "I wish I could be with you." So the zombie thinks like she wants to be with him romantically. But she's like, oh, no, that's not what I meant. I meant I want to be dead in the ground. Like my life sucks. Like I hate it here. But she has a crush on a boy at school. And everything culminates in Lisa catching her stepsister, who's extremely nice to her, catching her stepsister having sex with her crush, the boy at school.
The 30-year-old looking editor of the school newspaper, or the school literary magazine.
And when Lisa catches him, the zombie is with her as well. So he takes that opportunity to chop off that boy's penis. Uh-huh. And then he wants Lisa to sew it on him. Because she has told the zombie corpse that she wants to have sex for the first time with someone she loves. But she's also intimating that because of the killings and everything that's happened, she's not long for this world. So of course she sews the penis back on, electrocutes him. Now he looks like the actor playing him, who is
Cole Sprouse.
So he's like a handsome guy.
Who is the twin brother of Dylan Sprouse, who I know we reviewed something with him, Banana Split. But those were the two twin little boys in Big Daddy.
Oh, I didn't know that. So, of course, they have sex, and then it's kind of like a suicide pact because after they have sex, we hear like the police coming. So she has instructed her corpse boyfriend now to kill her by putting her in the tanning bed on max bronze. So she dies.
Burns to death.
And then we flash forward some time and see that her dad and her stepsister have moved on, and her corpse is now like fully alive looking, and he can talk now because for the entire film he couldn't talk. And he dug her up and reanimated her. So the final scene is them sitting on a park bench, and she's like a corpse.
Reading her the poetry of Percy Bysshe Shelley, who of course was the husband of Mary Shelley, who wrote Frankenstein.
Okay, if you just heard the basic story, like this teenage girl's depressed because she witnessed her mom be brutally murdered, she wants to die, this corpse comes back and they do killings together, and then she makes this suicide sex pact with him, you would think this is like a really macabre adult movie. But it really does feel like a teeny boppy PG-13 movie.
It rides like a strange continuum of Frank Henenlotter and John Hughes. So it's like Frankenhooker meets Pretty in Pink at times, but not as great as that combo would suggest.
I'm not familiar with Diablo Cody's writing. I did think there were a lot of cute... I mean, again, I feel like the premise I just explained, like I don't feel like cute should be a word that would describe the end result. But there are moments that I giggled and thought were cute.
I think I'm most curious about why Diablo Cody, the ex... Well, I believe I recall her being a stripper from Minnesota when she wrote Juno. Still fascinated with the trials and travails of teenage girls.
I mean, it didn't... My biggest observation was that this doesn't feel... Because I'm assuming this writer was a teenager in the 80s, so maybe she's drawing from that, which is fair. I didn't think it didn't feel authentic for a teenage movie. I just don't know why it's so, like... mild.
It's mild, but skirts into obviously like sexually provocative territory in ways that I think could have landed a lot better. Because the two scenes where sex or genitalia are involved are really oddly constructed. Because there's one where
the corpse.
Lisa has this vibrator in the closet, and she's teaching him to use it. It's for your back. It's intended for your back, but so he's using it on her back. And this scene is spliced with a phone call about the missing stepmom downstairs, and then they stop using the vibrator, and then she again suggests that he use it on her vagina.
But she's also explained to him, and it seems like she's not attracted to him, but then she also doesn't acknowledge that every time she electrocutes him, he gets better looking. So it's like if you're looking for a boyfriend, you're so desperate to have sex, there's this thing in front of you that keeps getting hotter every time you shock it. Mm-hmm. I thought the obvious approach would have been for her to continually try to, until he looks hot enough to have sex with. But
and then the dismembered penis part, he cuts that penis off and runs away with it in a waste paper basket. And then there's another scene where she goes to find him, and she's like, "Oh, you cut it off for me to put on you, to use on me." Yeah, girl.
What else do you think the other two body parts he brought to you were to reattach? Why didn't you think the penis would be?
She may be in love with someone else, but she is not oblivious. I mean, come on.
I wrote down a couple of funny lines. One is the boy who, I think his name is Doug, who touches her inappropriately when he feels her hair because Lisa has it looks like permed hair from the 80s. He says, "Oh, your hair feels like Easter grass." But the funniest line to me is when the stepmom, because the stepmom is kind of like stepmom from hell, being very strict with Lisa. And at one point, she's telling her basically like, you need to get over your mom dying and move on.
You're being
And she
selfish.
tells her, no one coddled me when my dad blew up in Da Nang. And
Yeah, that was a good line. And the way she says it too. That's Carla Gugino.
I thought she's probably my favorite part of the movie.
She's good. I love her wardrobe. I think it's funny, 1989, for whatever reason it's stuck in my head, that was the year that Carla Gugino was in Troop Beverly Hills as a young woman herself.
Because I thought that character, I really liked the stepsister.
Yes, but it's odd that they make her so friendly.
Right.
And she's beautiful.
Well, and then even like when Lisa catches her sleeping with her crush, it felt weird because it almost felt like I was thinking, you shouldn't be mad at her because clearly she's going through a hard time and this guy was being nice to her. I don't know. It just seemed like such an odd dynamic for these two characters to have.
And you did kill her mother.
Yeah, and Lisa killed her stepsister's mother. I really liked her. Even I thought the dad was funny.
Joe Chrest, who you've seen in tons of stuff.
Because he's so flat and like oblivious.
And is very invested in the cheerleading of Taffy.
And I thought that, well, even that, if this were an R-rated movie, could have been darker. Like maybe, like, why is he so fixated on Taffy? Like, is he attracted to her? Right? Because she's like a younger, prettier version of the woman he married. Mm-hmm. But then because it's PG-13, it's just like, it just seems odd, like that he seems more interested in his stepdaughter than his actual daughter, whose mother was brutally murdered in front of her.
Well, it's like we're really not examining any levels of psychological dysfunction, which could have made the like I wanted this to feel more Tim Burton-y from the late '80s, like Beetlejuice or Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I also liked the actor playing the corpse, but I think my least favorite character is Lisa because I don't know, I found her annoying and grating. I wanted her to be more, I guess, like a Winona Ryder in either Beetlejuice or Edward Scissorhands, maybe. Like, I just wanted her to seem more like, because she's dark. Like when she realizes that people died, she has a couple cute lines where because when she finds out her stepmother's dead, or that when she realizes that the corpse killed her stepmother and then he cuts off the ear and he asks her to sew it on, she goes, well, I can't do that until we bury her. Like, so she is a dark person.
She is, and
a morbid person.
And it doesn't plumb the depths of that. I mean, she doesn't need to be Wednesday Addams, but it could be, she's gone through something incredibly traumatic. And I don't know, did these little raggedy kids that are mean to her at school, maybe they deserve to die? I don't know, like, the way they're justifying these deaths, why can't we have that? Because the Frankenstein part of it feels real loosey-goosey.
Yeah.
Like, I you know what, I think I wanted her to be like Angela Bettis in Lucky McKee's May.
Yes.
Where she is seeking a human connection, but realizing that there are no good, complete wholes of people, only good parts. So she takes the best parts of everybody.
Or like, yeah, I just wanted her to be demented. Like this demented girl as a result of this extreme trauma, and now she has access to this killing machine, and then they fall in love, and then the suicide pact or something. But I don't have any other notes except there was a cute scene where the corpse plays the piano.
That's cute, but I felt like that's...
But then it's kind of ruined because Lisa sings it, and I think that's kind of over the top.
She's singing it in a way... You know how that scene should feel, and it doesn't do it. Think of Sandra Hüller singing the Whitney Houston song in Tony Erdmann.
Sure.
Like it should have kind of this transcendent moment that is meaning something for the characters in it, particularly for Lisa. And I don't get that this means anything to her, that she's doing
My final note is the reason Lisa knows to electrocute the corpse initially is he takes like a marker and draws on her hand a lightning bolt. And this dirty girl has that lightning bolt on her hand until the end of the movie. Did she not wash her hands or take a bath the entire time?
There are things that just don't match with her characterization.
Yeah.
Like she's painting her nails with whiteout, which I thought was amusing. But she's too polished, as played by Kathryn Newton, who I didn't mind. But it's just, it made me want to rewatch. Do you remember My Boyfriend's Back from 1993?
No.
It was directed by Bob Balaban. Which I remember begging my parents, I was in third grade then, to take me, and they were like, no, this is evil.
No, this is dark-sided. But I could see people liking this. I'm not sure who, like, I guess, this PG-13, so would teenagers find this cute? I don't know, but what would you give Lisa Frankenstein?
I don't know, it's bad, it's sad, because I think that there are moments where I experienced the glee that I think it's going for, but it just misses the opportunity. But I would give it 2.5.
I would give Lisa Frankenstein 2.5 out of 5. Join us on Patreon and listen to our podcast. Bye.